All right, so today we are going to review how to solve one-step equations. So along the top it says solving one-step equations. So this is a skill that you should have learned back in 7th grade. Just revisiting, make sure that we all understand how to do it. I've got a bunch of examples here. So our first example here says x plus 4 equals 3. Now, we always want to do the inverse, which means opposite. So if you don't know what the word inverse means, it means opposite. So anytime you see it, it's opposite. Now, here it says x plus 4 equals 3. So when I taught 7th grade, I used to have them draw a line down this so you can see the two different sides of the equal sign. The side that says x plus 3 and the other side that, x plus 4, and the other side that has the 3. So I want to get x by itself, so it's x plus 4, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So since it's plus 4 and minus 4, that makes 0, so I'm going to cross it off, which I'm just left with the x. And 3 minus 4 gives me a negative 1. So my answer is x equals negative 1. Trying a couple more examples. And here I've got them all written out in words too, so if you need to read it. So I've got x plus w equals 6. So I can draw the line down my equal sign so I can see the two different sides. If you don't have to draw the line, then you don't have to. So I want to get w by itself. I need to get rid of that 5, so I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides because 5 minus 5 gives me 0 and I can cross that off. Gives me a w. 6 minus 5 is 1. So w equals 1. Couple more. Here I've got x minus 6 equals 8. I'm drawing a line down my equal sign. I have two different sides. I want to get x by itself. So since it's x minus 6, I'm going to add 6 to both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. You have to be fair. Minus 6 and plus 6 makes 0, so I'm going to cross that off. So I'm left with the x on that side of the equal sign. 8 plus 6 gives me 14. So x equals 14. One more of those. I've got negative 7 plus w equals 2. I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign so I can see the two different sides. I'm working on the side with the w because I want it alone. So it's got negative 7 plus w, so I'm going to add 7 to both sides. I want to get rid of that 7. So the opposite of negative 7 would be positive 7. So that gives me 0. I'm left with w, and 2 plus 7 is 9. My second set of notes, still working on one-step equations. They look a little differently now. So I've got 4x equals 12. So if I draw a line down my equal sign like I've been doing, I want to get x by itself. Since it's 4x, that means they're hugged up next to each other. When they're hugged up like that, that means multiplication. You want to do the inverse. So you want to do the opposite. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. So 4 divided by 4 just leaves me with my 1x. You don't have to put the 1 in front unless you want to. And 12 divided by 4 gives me 3. Doing another one. Negative 3w equals 9. I'm drawing a line down my equal sign. I want to get the w by itself, so I need to get rid of this negative 3. And since it's negative 3w, they're hugged up next to each other, which means multiplication. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide by negative 3 on both sides. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 gives me a positive 1w, and we don't have to put the 1 in front because we get lazy with it. 9 divided by negative 3 gives me a negative 3. Two more examples of this. Now I've got x divided by 5 equals 2. If you didn't know what that line meant, that means division. So also the fraction bar, same thing. Since it's x divided by 5, I want to get x by itself. The inverse of division, or the opposite of division, is multiplication. So in order to get rid of this 5, is I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. So this gets rid of the 5 on the left, so just leaving with my x. 2 times 5 is 10. So x equals 10. One more. I've got negative W over 7 equals 3. Now, notice that in this example, they've got the negative right out in front. I always take it and give it to the guy on top. It doesn't matter if it goes to the top or the bottom. It really doesn't. In this case, if I give it to the top, it might give us some frustration. So actually, I'm going to give it to the bottom because I just want to do a one-step equation here. So now I have W divided by negative 7 equals 3. Since it's W divided by, I'm going to do the opposite, the inverse, and multiply by that negative 7 on both sides. So I've got W equals 3 times negative 7 gives me a negative 21.